All right. Yeah, so what am I drinking first? Oh, maybe I should start over. I should probably introduce myself for the people who actually don't know who I am. Hey everyone, my name's Drunken Gleam, and welcome to my channel. That was a horrible introduction. If you're a first-time viewer, I like to talk about Marvel Strike Force. I like to play Marvel Strike Force. At the same time, I like to drink Marvel Strike Force, including the alcohol that's associated with MSF. So it's going to be really interesting tonight because a couple topics I want to cover. I actually made a list for myself. So I think outside of just the game itself, right? Hey, Ron 7, how you doing? That press collar shirt. That's because literally, like, I like to be comfortable, bro, but I had tons of meetings nonstop, right, back to back. So I literally just got in my hotel room and I just, I haven't stripped at all. I mean, I feel like I should, but you know what? Whatever, right? Whatever. It's all good. So what am I drinking tonight? It's the same thing that I'm gonna drink every single time. It's this freaking wine because in Singapore, alcohol is all imported and it's so freaking expensive, right? Literally, I got this at 7-Eleven, okay? 7-Eleven, this is $20 US, and this is the cheapest wine they have. It's absolutely ridiculous. At least it's from France, I think. Yeah, okay, it's French. So that's good. It's a Merlot. I don't usually like Merlots, but I'm not going to spend $30 US on a freaking bottle of wine. So it's probably just not wearing pants. We're not going to find out, are we? I don't know. Maybe if I get drunk enough, I might stand up and you'll see what's up. So we'll see. So tonight, I really want to talk about what's going on in the MSF community, right? Because I really love this community. This is one of the reasons why I got into this game. Outside of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, right? Because outside of Arnold, right, which is really awesome content creator, I didn't really find a good enough community that I bonded with. Then I discovered Marvel Strike Force, and I discovered at that time Mobile Gamer and Valley Flying. I'm like, oh wow, there's a semi-Asian dude who's actually streaming. This is cool because you gotta find some common ground, right? It's not a bunch of white dudes all over just, talking about government shit, But at the same time, it was really about the game. For me, Marvel is literally my favorite intellectual property in the entire world, right? I mean, we've all been growing up going through, whether it's comics or MCU, and it's been really fun. So this is where you sort of naturally gravitate towards this game. And at the same time for me, right, because I'm getting older, I don't play these freaking FPS first-person shooters games anymore, like Overwatch or whatever. I can't deal with it. I like a turn-based game, even though there is limitation, like 5 minutes per match, but it's just more relaxing, right? I can play anytime. And like to say, you know what? You definitely play this game on the toilet, right? You're not going to play an FPS game on the toilet because then you're just going to be like, you can't even go, right? So this game is really strategic. It's really about strategy and then collecting your tunes of the characters at the same time. And that's what I really love about this game. Even though we get shafted by Scopley in terms of the amount that we have to pay to win, that's what you do, right? So yeah, Run 7, let me know, man. Let me know. Pile it on, bro. Pile it on. So, yeah, okay, going back to the Marvel Strike Force community, this week, what's been going on, okay? First of all, the big thing that's been going on, I don't know if anybody heard, but Boilon got kicked out of the Envoy program, right? And Run, I'm going to get to Rem very soon. It's actually my fourth topic about the community. So Boilon, he got kicked out of the Envoy program, right? It's literally blows my freaking mind, right? He didn't actually do anything wrong from my understanding. He just talked about how Morgan, is a 3-star unlock, and all of a sudden he got kicked out of the Envoy program. That's messed up. I mean, literally, it's just like, it was on Reddit, some Reddit post, and he just talked about it, I believe, on stream. And I think he mentioned that he had a hater in his current baby account alliance. from my understanding, he thinks it's actually the line's leader. And this guy or whoever kept posting on Reddit and trying to, bubble up this issue. And then finally it got enough traction that I guess Cerebro or somebody saw and just like kicked him out. And I feel that is absolutely not the right way to go about it, right? You don't just basically kick a guy to the curb because he maybe accidentally or didn't know that it's actually under the NDA. But actually, Boylan said that is actually not a part of the NDA. If you're a lawyer, my wife's a lawyer, but yeah, this is why I can never out argue her. So have you seen his explanation video? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. So this is the thing where I feel like Scopley as a company, if you want to incubate, if you want to utilize a community, if you want to, outsource your workload to the community, right, through the Envoy program, it's fine. But at the same time, you got to treat them well, right? You have to empower them, and you have to make them feel like they're worth a damn, instead of spending all this time and effort and energy giving back the feedback of the community, right? So I don't know if people know this about me, but actually I used to work in the video game industry. So I worked with the creators of Diablo, right, on a new game called Hellgate London, right, Flagship Studios. So I actually worked alongside of David Brevik, Max, Eric Schaefer, Bill Roper, etc., right? Industry leaders. Basically, they created Diablo. That's all I can say, which is absolutely amazing. I launched Hellgate London for all of Asia. So, I know the community, I still know the community management and how it was back then. It was managed, and we also had a semi-Envoy program, but it wasn't really focused on that, right? It was basically getting these really like the zealots of the game to come on and feel special. But at the same time, I was a producer. So I actually got the feedback from the community manager at the time every single week. And I knew exactly how to push it through the whole development cycle, right? Because, the globalization of a product, of a game, is really hard, to be honest. Every single culture has different requirements. So when we launched Hellgate London, we did not expect this, but basically in the US, the game literally, let's just say from 1 to 100, right? 100 being finishing the game and being, the end game. In South Korea, they finished all the way to the end game in literally less than a month. But in America, the top player, I remember, I think was like 30% through. So this is the different cultures, right? Because in South Korea, as well as China, places, people are freaking hardcore. This is their life. You heard all these stories about how, esports, right? People are playing these games and literally they sit there for a whole week. And there's been some some deaths that results in a person sitting there and their blood vessels being constricted and they just passed out. It's really sad. But the thing is, this is the culture over here in Asia. So when I see these issues happening with the community, right? And by the way, this is the best community I've ever witnessed, right? Including Run 7, right? He does defense up every single day, and he's the only one doing this, and I love that about him, right? And it's just like everybody has their perspective to focus, and I love that. And because there's so many parts of the game that you can talk about and improve and trying to give feedback on, right? But at the same time, if the envoys aren't actually being heard, how the hell will envoys feel like they're special? So definitely there's a disconnect between the community management and the development team and the producers, really. It really comes down to the producers. So as an ex-producer, right, you have to hear the feedback and then figure out how to add these issues, whether it's exploits or whatever. By the way, in the Hellgate London days, the exploits were #1 priority. #1. Right, so I would actually push it directly to the technical director and basically tell him, hey bro, I would sit him down and be like, hey bro, you need to fix this ASAP or else you're gonna lose a bunch of customers. So maybe it's different with this type of mobile game because it's about revenue maximization. So if they can still have this big data thing that tells them, you know what, yeah, some exploits, we're going to lose a little bit, but we're still going to make some more money from the whales, then yeah, maybe that's what dictates their motivation. So this is something where I find it very strange. And, I actually have some ex-employees of mine in, let's just say in-house. I haven't actually reached out to, but, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. So, second question from Run. My thoughts. Hey, Winful, how you doing, man? So, my thoughts on Reminix coming back. I mean, to be expected, right? I mean, he is so into this game that he's one of the people that I really respect in terms of giving strategy, decisions, and feedback, that I feel like if he stepped away from that, it would be losing a part of himself. So I'm definitely not surprised. I was expecting it. Whether or not it was just a PR move, it's fine, right? As content creators, it's fine. Do whatever you need to do, because as soon as you say I quit, a lot of people, you're gonna get a lot of viewerships, right? And be like, oh, lots of controversy and all this. And he definitely went hardcore into Lost Ark, which is great. Again, another South Korean game, like incredible game. I actually know a lot of developers on that team. I can't play it because I'm on a Mac. I'm stuck in Singapore, and lots of issues. But I don't have time to play all these games outside of Marvel Strike Force. So Reminix, I'm not very surprised. I'm glad that he's back, right? And he loves this community as well. And I hope the best for him in terms of whether it's the Envoy program or, I laugh because, we all know what the Envoy program is all about. Cheers. Hey, New Figure, how you doing? Thanks for joining. So Reminix coming back is a sign that this game still has him wrapped around its little finger, especially with the Scourge events, especially with the next patch 6.0. And now, like, all of a sudden, it was a surprise to everybody. 5 characters coming out in the next patch? What the heck? Right? So there's a lot of good things happening, and I think the last Envoy call satisfied some of the curiosities of the envoys, saying, yeah, we're looking into these issues, but rest assured, we're hiring new community managers across the world. Okay, that's great, but like I said, that's another layer, right? Somebody's got to report up. They're not going to report directly to producer. So now you got individual community managers in their localized language, whether it's Brazil or Asia or whatever. By the way, it's much needed. But then they report up to one single, maybe, the new Cerebro, who got promoted to customer experience or something. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's just another layer. I mean, it's great that they can communicate in the local language, but really, there's are they going to actually make a difference? Yeah. So, Ron, you said one more question. Let me see. Do you think the community is on the decline, becoming toxic? I mean, okay, so I've been playing the game almost 2 years, right? I feel like it's up and down. It's always up and down. I see this a lot. You hear a lot about the decline, but at the same time, I mean, I'm sure MSF is getting a lot of new players, right? Get in while they're young, right? Just like Camel and, smoking. But I think it comes in waves. So at least with patch 6.0, it's bringing back people, right? People maybe who quit, but they're actually back and they're excited. I mean, to me, okay, like Evil Doctor Strange, very exciting. Wong, hashtag not my Wong. I'm not very excited. I mean, his kit looks amazing for sustainability, but his look drives me up a freaking wall. So I'll talk about this in detail on on Mr. Hargrave's channel this week or this weekend or whenever, because I don't want to really get into it here because it's going to be fairly negative and yeah, so a little racist, so to speak. So I'm going to push that later. But when it comes to the toxicity of what's going on, I feel like it's up and down. And right now we're on a upward trajectory with 6.0. So the fifth character, if they can surprise the hell out of us, let's say it's speculation, it's Blade, right, as a legendary or something, that's going to make people so excited again, right? So yeah, I mean, this game and the community and Scopley, it's just an up and down battle. They screw up, they gotta hire new people, which I understand, right? From a game development perspective. There's always gonna be issues they have to patch up and improve. But then, how do you actually, get players back, right? Can you get, sort of like YouTube, right? I mean, my videos, I haven't seen the latest trends, but like 80% is like new people who don't subscribe. And then the subscribers come back, right? Those are the people that you gotta keep milking, right? Just like the whales, you gotta keep milking. So it's hard. It's hard. It's an 80-20 rule. So hey, Micro, how you doing, man? Yeah. So yeah, that's my thoughts on sort of the current community. I have a couple others. Let me check my list. I don't know if anybody saw Zemo, the community manipulator. That was a really fun video that us non-voice, we call it non-voice, did. Really hilarious. So I recommend that. I'll also share the video down below so you can check that out. It's really funny. It's a satire of the Envoy call, right? And because we were talking about earlier, Boilan got kicked out of Envoys, it's very timely, to say the least, right? What's a non-voy? It's basically a non-envoy. Yeah. All right. But, I mean, this is just for fun, right? I mean, this is we are content creators. We love this game. We want to propagate what we talk about, but we're not part of this freaking Envoy program, right? And I have a lot of thoughts about that. I don't want to get into it too much, even though I don't give a shit. But I want people in the Envoy program to still feel that they're getting a lot out of it, and hopefully this is up to Scopley now. If they can actually make a damn difference, then awesome, right? What's an envoy? Envoy programs is basically the content creators who actually have a lot of reach, and they get access to beta builds. They can release certain videos ahead of hand, talking about, for example, Dark Hunters or Web Warriors a few days before, or actually a few weeks, 1 or 2 weeks before. They have access to the test server as well, so they can create this content to tell the community before. So basically, free marketing for Scopley. So yeah, that's really what I think is going on with the community this week, the latest updates. I haven't actually seen any other salt or controversy, but I feel like talking about the community in general, right, with the content creator is really interesting. So maybe this is a segment I'll do on a whenever basis, right? Because there's a lot of drama going on every single week. And sometimes, I want to support these content creators. I want them, their word to get out. At the same time, I will evaluate the whole global perspective coming from the video game industry. Yeah, bug reporting, exactly. That's what the envoys do, right? So that's one thing I wanted to cover. The other thing I wanted to cover tonight, outside of some drug and war practice with a lower end Dark Hunter team, because I think the Dark Hunter team is not that great right now. However, if they give us the fifth character, whether or not it's Blade, maybe they will be a lot better, because I still cannot, at a 500k, I believe, 500k team, 550, let me see, K team, it's really hard to punch across Heroes for Hire, which we've been sold almost live, so 525 right over there. Right, and it's really not consistent. And I've seen a lot of Alliance members trying to punch down and they still lose. So there's definitely something wrong or not right which is basically the same thing about this team. So that means, oh, they're going to also sell us a 5th character. So maybe the 5th character is going to come in this next patch in the next week or 2. And if it's Blade, oh my god, all of a sudden people are going to be like, whoa, I'm going to buy, whoa, take my money, Scopley. So we'll see what happens. I'm really interested. This is the thing, right? It's like the carrot on a stick that they keep putting in front of us, right? They screw up and then be like, oh, let me break the safety glass, and instead of 4 characters that you already think you know, we're gonna give you 1 more. And it's like, oh, what could it be? Is it Blade? Is it freaking, I don't know, is it Gambit? So who knows? It's definitely not gonna be Gambit, because then Tana's gonna piss his pants. Yeah, so do you think they will release Blade before the next movie? Technically, they should not. They should release it during the same time, because MCU will spend a lot of marketing dollars, and if they can ride that wave, they should, right? So it could be, sadly, yeah. Maybe. Like, this is the thing where, like, we're talking about it, right? If there's discussions about it, so, oh, what could it be? This is what this is what Scopley wants. So I think it's going to be really fun to speculate, at the same time also see what's going to happen, right? And then of course, let's say Blade comes out and be like, oh yeah, I knew it. You know, I've been talking about, I saw the writing on the wall or the graphics in the background. So it's a part of marketing, right? It's a part of marketing this type of game, this type of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, and the type of sort of the concept of how do you not only talk about it, like get the community to talk about it. So similarly to, I guess, if you compare it to Apple, right, iPhones, when a new product comes out and they talk about it and launch it, it's super sexy. And this is where you get all people lined up at the Apple stores, right, to pre-order or buy it. And in a way, it's similar to waiting at clubs, right, because they artificially limit people going to clubs so that people walking by and wanting to go to this club, the longer the line, the sexier potentially it could be. So this type of mentality, the psychology, is really interesting, right? I also minored in psychology, so this is where I love to talk about all these connections, is that if you see a club that there's nobody waiting or there's a lot of people waiting, you're going to be like, whoa, something's going on in this little club. I bet you all the hot girls and guys are going over here. So then you're going to wait in line. So the FOMO is really apparent with this type of mentality. So I think it's similar to video games, right? When I worked on video games previously, it's about giving them just enough to give them carrot and stick so that they can keep grabbing at it, right? I mean, literally, Diablo was created to be like that, right? Instead of like Civilization, if anyone played that, it's like, oh, let me do one more turn and maybe I can get my freaking infantry over and I can freaking win and take over whatever, Babylon, right? That's a turn-based game, but with Diablo, it's just like, oh, maybe if I kill the butcher, I'm gonna get a freaking legendary loot or whatever it's called, right? The gold version. It keeps you wanting more. It's a freaking gambling mechanic, because we're human beings. This is what they prey on, right? Because you never know, the RNG elements is really, really sexy, and this is why people spend a lot of money in gambling halls, right? This is why literally a casino can be a really, really extremely profitable business, because they know they're basically just understanding the human psyche and playing on that, because they know, hey, if you, let's say roulette, if you bet big on a number, it's like 1 to 32 chances or 34 chances, I forgot exactly. I'm not a big gambler these days, and they're just like, you know what, if I put all in on this number 69, doesn't exist, I can basically buy a house. So this is the gambling mechanic that we're all really a part of, right? This cycle. I mean, it's a little bit destructive, to be honest, but at the same time, this is how businesses work, right? Especially gaming, especially these days. Because if you ever played Farmville, if you ever played these social network games back in the day from Zynga, It fed on the same social aspect elements, and at the same time, you go in, you're just like, oh, let me build up a farm, and then I make virtual money back then. Right now, it's all cryptocurrency and all this bullshit. But basically, just like, oh, then I can go over to this other farm and let me steal it from my friend because he's connected on Facebook and he's gonna get a notification. I'm gonna feel like a badass because I have a better farm than him. So yeah. Social elements of this. I farmed a lot of tomatoes. Yeah. Exactly. Like, this is the social aspects, right? Gambling is a social aspect. If you only gamble by yourself, that's sort of boring, right? Like blackjack, you want to win somebody else's money as well as the house's money. So the social aspects of the psychological need or potential to win is really incredible. And this is where games are huge money makers. This is why freaking MSF made 300 million during COVID, right, in 2020 or 2021, right? And they're probably not making as much these days, but still, it's in the tens of hundreds of millions of dollars because they're milking the hell out of us whales, right? So I think, when David Brevik, my past colleague, got on, a couple of the content creators' channels, and he talked about how the game is in maintenance mode. Yeah, maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't think it's truly in maintenance mode because it's still a top money maker, right? It's top 50 or whatever on the app stores. So it's great that we see new systems being implemented, right? Cosmic Crucible, the Scourge event, whatever, right? And hopefully we're going to get more, new technologies and new game modes. Because if it's going to be in maintenance mode, that means all we're going to get are characters, the tried and true method of generating content. But there are new game modes, which is exciting, right? I mean, even Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, it's like, I don't know how many years it's been in operation, 5 to 7, whatever. But I remember right when I quit, they were coming out with a patch that improved the graphics fidelity and made it look really a lot better than before. I mean, that requires actually graphics engineers and artists to improve all the assets. So a game that's in maintenance mode will never do that. They will never invest into new systems and upgrades, right? So I think, even this game can be in, like, technically, if I made this game or I was producing this game, I can just make it into maintenance mode. And then, oh, by the way, Marvel Strike Force 2.0, I don't know if anybody's seen Fun Guy, right? Fun Guy? No, Free Guy. Fuck, Fun Guy. Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, but literally that was the satire about the video game industry. It's like, oh, I got all these people in this game, but now I'm going to release 2.0 and milk the crap out of them so they can upgrade, right? So yeah, it is what it is, and I think it's really interesting that the way that they're trying to profit out of this game. So I've heard that random positive feedback tries more. Yep. Because the chance to win. So Ron, you're right. So I'm gonna read this out loud because this is very important. So Run7 said, I've heard that random positive feedback attracts more than consistent positive feedback because the chance to win appeals more than a guarantee to win. If you're guaranteed to win, then it's not that exciting. Just like those, when you go, my kids love this stupid freaking game, the hand grab game, trying to get the little teddy bear or whatever. I mean, there's a gambling element to that, right? Because if you actually know how they're made, the claw, there's a randomness to that in terms of how hard they grasp. So if all of a sudden, right, it's a random, it could be 1 to 100 or whatever, but it's the pressure that it puts. So this is the funny thing is that, hey, most of the people going in and then boom, it's not guaranteed to win, right? Because you think you lined it perfectly, skill-based, whatever, it goes down and grabs it, but then literally you're just like, yeah, I got this, and all of a sudden it goes like this, boop! Because there's a randomness that's programmed in to the pressure of the claw. So this makes it exciting. This makes it very, very exciting. So it's, again, everything in this life, right, is literally gambling and RNG, whether you know it or not. So some people think we did not evolve from apes. I agree, we're still apes. Absolutely. I mean, what's in here, right? Our brains, it's the same. It's instinctual, right? It's not like we all of a sudden became robots and we learn from our past failures. We can't. We have not evolved that much to be the next generation of Homo sapiens. So the brain, the biology is the same. The instincts are the same, right? So I'm getting very deep into this because you guys are pushing me into this, but Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? What do you need to survive, right? You need air, you need food, you need shelter, right? And a couple other things. And then you go sort of upgrade into the different levels. And ultimately it's self-realization, right? And then basically you have spending money and all this. But the thing is, if you feel like you're going up the scale, you feel like a freaking badass. So this is where and why we like to gamble, because we feel like, oh, we already satisfied all the lower elements of the hierarchy. But then what about the fun parts? All right. So this is the thing where it's really interesting to talk about psychology. So maybe this is something I'll start talking more about and how it relates to the human psyche. I don't know, maybe this is too heavy for most MSF players, but then again, most hardcore MSF players are like between the ages of 35 and 45. So at least the people that watch my channel. So yeah, so Ben, do you think they should take out some elements of the current game to release new content? Yeah, well, they're not going to, because they think that they want to get more. They want to get more people to focus and play this damn game. So I still think that if Cosmic Crucible comes out, which is a single player war battles, which is great, you should take out Arena, because Arena is boring as shit these days. But then again, they're introducing new Arena teams. So I don't see that happening. A lot of content creators these days they're complaining about, oh, yeah, we're spending too much time, and Philosopher loves to say, oh, what if I'm at my kid's soccer game, I gotta pull out my phone, and I mean, recently even Mobile Gamer said that he had to disclose to his girlfriend that he plays Marvel Strike Force. It's like disclosing an STD. It's just like, by the way, this is a big part of my life. I thought that was hilarious. That's what I love about Mobile Gamer. Man, no bars. Like he's fully transparent, right? It's hilarious. So again, it's opportunity cost for Scopley. If they can keep you playing, right, because they have big data, if you keep you playing this game for 2 to 3 hours per day, they've succeeded. Because if you're not playing another game at 2 to 3 hours per day, even though we all do other things when we're blitzing, freaking most boring mode in this game, they have succeeded, right? Because you're engaging, right? We as human beings, it's really hard to sort of parallel process a lot of information. So yeah, we think that, oh, we're so good at multitasking and, oh, let me play this game, let me play that. Literally, you can't scale. You can't do that, right? You're not a freaking machine. So this is the thing where I find it very interesting that it would be nice if Scopley actually created some game modes that actually brought us out of the blitz modes, right? The most boring elements of this game, into something more engaging, and maybe it can actually help the community sort of groupthink, right? Start attack. So I think Tower mode was a good example of this. A lot of content creators loved it. I personally didn't really have time, to be honest, so I would just sim everything. But yeah, it's very strategic. So people who actually have a lot of time to focus and try to strategize about this, it works out great. For me, I just want to be like, in and out, boom, done, right? In and out. This is my personality, girls? Just kidding. It's not true. I like to take my time, girls. But the thing is, if there's a new game mode, just like Cosmic Crucible, where I can set up my defenses and I don't have to check every freaking 5 minutes, just like war right now, right? Everybody's got to be there at the beginning of war. I don't have time for that sometimes, So I think Cosmic Crucible is going to be a really exciting game mode. I'm excited about it. Hopefully the rewards are worth a damn. Hopefully we get some freaking T16, freaking tier. God, it's a freaking tongue twister. Teal Gear 16. Tier Gear Teal 16. God, it's the worst. Should have named it like fuchsia or something, some other freaking, color. So yeah, this is the thing that's been on my mind, and I'm glad that tonight we get to talk about the G16. G16, it's like the G spot. I'm just gonna talk about G spots from now on because that's what I think about all day long. Like G16, I'm gonna give you 16 of the. Oh, I got 10 digits, so it's not 16. So so I think when it comes to gear tier 16, G16 to G19 or whatever in that list for Scourge events, it's ridiculous, and I'm actually really surprised they disclosed that. It's just like literally they just plan out the next 5 years, and in a way it's intimidating for newer players because right now for endgame players like us, we're literally grinding to a halt, right? I am completely SBC limited. This is the main thing that's really causing me a lot of headaches and it's really pissing me off, to be honest, right? Farming SBCs every single day is getting really draining, and we're not getting a lot of SBCs outside of the what is it, the two the play passes, whatever they called, right? The strike passes. And again, like Dorky Dad said, it's like a tax. It's like a Marvel Strike Force tax. So yeah, G spot. If I get around now, Run 7, bro. You made me start calling it TC Penis. Okay, that was you, man. And this is why I love you, bro. You have such good humor. So we definitely should do something together. And we're just gonna play off each other, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I feel like we should do some type of new show. I don't know, and we'll figure it out. So TC Penis. Hilarious. Everybody's got to go see Run 7's video on the TC Penis. Oh my god. So yeah, I mean, it's very like, sure, it's a satire. We make fun of this game, right, through many different innuendos and all this other stuff, but it is what it is. All right, this game is it's gambling. And if you like gambling, which a lot of people do, most people do, and they want to risk their money and try to roll, like a very specific, like 180 what is it, shard for any new character, right? That's literally this almost 0.001% chance. It is what it is, right? Because it's a chance. There's actually a chance, not guaranteed, right? But there's a chance, and that's exciting. That makes my nipples hard. So yeah. Oh, by the way, everybody, check out Run 7's stream tomorrow. He's gonna be reviewing my war defense. And I told him to go frickin' hard on me. Yeah, because I know he can. So I want him to go really hard on me. Don't hold back, man. Do not hold back, okay? So outside of the current war, not war, but the MSF community, this is what I've been experiencing. I think this is really fun to talk about. I don't know if anybody else cares about it. Outside of the content creators and non-voice and fuck boys, but I think it's going to be really exciting to figure out what other type of content we can create. For me, I'm not one of those guys or content creators who really wants to be super hardcore, right? Like in terms of talking about strategy and all that, because there's so many other content creators, especially Philosopher, right? He's one of the reasons why I got into content creation, actually, right? Because I loved his other perspective. Back in the day, it was Dad Bros, and he was one of the first people to talk about, hey, Dad Bros are freaking cool and really good. You should invest in them. Nobody else understood that at the time. I'm like, actually, yeah, Dad Bros are pretty good. So I think when it comes to what I want to do for the channel, I'm very casual, right? I'm trying to bridge other elements outside of Marvel Strike Force, whether it's psychology, or whether it's video game industry, or whether it's something else into this game. And I think this is a different perspective as well, right? It'd be really boring, at least for me, to talk about like, oh no, here's another pocket dimension, and let me show you on MSF.gg all of the things on pocket dimension, and it's a rehash of everybody else what they're doing, right? Mobile gamers already got the daily, whatever the offers, which is awesome, and Run 7's got defense up, which is awesome, right? Other content creators like McMole, he's been doing a lot. He's been releasing nonstop videos about counters with the newest teams, right? And speculation. Tana is the #1 speculator of the entire content creation community, which is great, right? And his reaction to Gambit is literally the best thing I've ever seen in this community. I did a whole video on that. So this is the thing where we need to find our cadence. We need to figure out what we're good at, and we need to, expand it and expose it. So one of the key things for me, right? I made a video, I think last week or earlier this week, about hashtag not my Wong. And this is the thing that I really strongly am about, right? Because I just talk a little bit about this here because I'll actually talk a lot more on not McMull, but Mr. Hargrave's channel. Is that, hey Sharky, doing well, man. So Wong, the literal look of Wong is wrong, because it's basically from the comics from the 1960s. And do you know what he was back then? Wong was a manservant for Doctor Strange. Manservant. All he did, outside of his kung fu and all this stereotypical bullshit, is that he brought tea for Mr. Strange. Right? So it's very stereotypical, right? Back then in the 1960s. Like that's the mentality, right, that was going around. And this is where at least the Marvel Cinematic Universe changed Wong. Changed his powers. He no longer is a super martial artist. He's a master of the mystic arts. Super cool. And at the same time, the recent Spider-Man, if you've seen that, he's literally the Sorcerer Supreme. So all of a sudden, this guy is being elevated, right? No longer is a fucking manservant, okay? And he no longer is, let me bring you some tea, master. Yes, ho 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 ho. And this is the thing that really annoys me about this particular 3D model, is that it's messed up, man. Nate Mace, Wong looks like shit now. They did, yes, that's what I'm saying, right? First of all, he literally looks like a freaking minion. And actually, like I said previously in my hashtag not my Wong video, a lot of the minions look better than him. Okay? And like I said, outside of his animations, he better be freaking like crazy animations. He better freaking like kung fu the crap out of things, even though that's very stereotypical, and I don't necessarily approve, but he better be badass, not just from his kit, okay? Looks matter, guys. And this is what I'm saying. Yeah, every Asian character is stereotype. Yeah, just like freaking what's his name? Shang-Chi? His moves look like Bruce Lee, right? But in the movie, his style is not like Bruce Lee at all. It's like, guys, Scopley, you are so freaking culturally insensitive that you just like, oh, let me just do kung fu, let me do Bruce Lee, let me do this freaking, what? Come on, guys. This. I don't really want to get too far deep into this, because again, I will unleash my fury on Mr. Hargrave's channel about this and about basically how Asians are portrayed in this game. And you know what? I don't think I'm gonna make a difference in terms of actually this patch being released. And Wong, I mean, he's not gonna change unless they all of a sudden do a swap and they do another costume that they were originally gonna sell us for $50 or $10. And then there's like, oh, you can also buy this traditional comic version for whatever, right? So I don't see that happening, to be honest, because they couldn't deliver Silver Samurai previously. It was just a freaking X on his chest, and they delayed the patch. So yeah, and this is where I feel like even Boylan said, right? Hey, Prince of Peace, how you doing, man? So Boylan said that the Envoy program, not just Envoy program, but the developers, from his perspective, is a bunch of how do you put it? a bunch of white guys. Not that it's bad, but at the same time, if you're trying to release a global type of game, you should be culturally sensitive to certain elements of the game, right? And I'm not blaming Scopley per se completely on this. I mean, I understand they're a U.S. company, and there's a lot of cultural things. I mean, but then again, you compare them to, let's say, Ubisoft, who every single game, like Assassin's Creed and all these other games, Far Cry, when you start that game, it says, Ubisoft is a multinational, multicultural, blah 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 blah. We have so many different cultures, as well as LGBTQ staff, and they're really focused on just being global. Whereas when it comes to Marvel Strike Force, I feel like they have a far road ahead of them, which is good and bad, right? They have room to improve, but at the same time, can they actually improve? And hopefully the first signs of actually getting international community managers is a good step forward. Is that actually going to influence the game? To me, I'm actually very skeptical, as we all know, because if the envoys can't even affect somewhat of a change, who's to say that these new community managers, who's going to basically just do a report every week to Cerebro, and then he's going to, there's still a gap over here. Cerebro with the development team, with the producers. If he can't influence change, it's going to be still very hard to see any progress. So we'll see. Yeah, Jay, Wong looks like literally Captain Picard, right? Oh my God. So yeah, in my previous video, I talked about how the MCU really learned when they introduced Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One in the first Doctor Strange movie, and a lot of backlash, right? So then they sort of, not pivoted, but they started thinking, okay, maybe we can introduce Shang-Chi and then find a really good, actor who won't be stereotypical, which I think they did an incredible job, right? Yeah, so... Yeah, Nate Mace, yes. I covered Boilan earlier in my stream, but definitely I'm going to release this video, and I feel so bad for the guy because he's such a good part of the community, right? Really pure, right? And he was doing so much work, right? He was saying 1 or 2 hours almost per day trying to influence the game. So it's a really big loss. I mean, he's probably going to get, I think he's going to get re-invited because all of a sudden there's going to be backlash, and it's oh, actually, he didn't actually violate the NDA or whatever. But the thing is, I don't think he even wants to go back because he's peeled over, he's peeled out some of the parts of the onion, and he's realized that it's actually not that pretty. So yeah, I don't think he's going to go back. So, yeah, I don't know. We're just chatting tonight, right? So I don't know what else outside of hashtag not my Wong. This is my movement, guys. Hashtag not my Wong. Gosh, that model pisses me off because it's really just propagating the stereotypical fashion of Asians in media, right? Whether it's movies or whether it's games. So I really feel like, I don't want, by the way, I also don't want them to delay patch 6.0, right? But at the same time, at least offer the another costume for free. And technically, the new costume should be the default costume. So if you want to buy the traditional costume, okay, that'll make me feel better, okay? That's a great suggestion, to try to appease the Asian community. All right, so we'll see. Oh, Sharky, I'm sorry that Boilan's been rude to you, man. Yeah, it's he's a good bloke. He's also younger, right? He's not like my age, it's good, right? All I can say is that Stardom gives, not corrupts, that's the wrong word, but maybe it is the right word, but Stardom makes people act differently, right? And I'm not going to say recently one of the content creators, very well known, hasn't really responded to me, which is sort of messed up because I was one of the first proponents of their channel. And anyway, I don't want to talk about that because it just makes me sad. Yeah. So outside of content creation, so I think okay, we talked a lot today, guys. I don't know how long it's been. It's been an hour talking about all this stuff. Holy crap. Maybe I should get into this freaking game, yeah? Oh my gosh. All right, so let's do some okay. Well, can I? You know what? It's almost midnight. I don't think I can actually play this game tonight because I'm very shell-shocked about what happened in the Marvel Strike Force community this week, right? Like I covered earlier. Whether it's Boilon or Reminix coming back or Zemo, the community manipulator, talking to the non-voice. I'll put that down below. McMole just releasing video after video. Tana. I mean, it's really exciting to me, right? This is why I still love this game, even though I've been getting a little bit bored of the gameplay because there hasn't been anything new. It's literally like, oh, I gotta blitz, I gotta real-time RTA, I gotta do all this stuff. So it's just like, what's new, guys? Like nothing. So I think McMole said that. I didn't see this video yet. He said that Cosmic Crucible might be delayed. I don't know. That's gonna suck, right? So I think when it comes to this game, the thing that still excites me is, outside the RNG elements, is basically the upcoming characters. This is the carrot and stick. Right? You should apply to be an envoy. Speak to no, Sharky, no. I don't give a shit about being an envoy, to be honest. If you caught my earlier portion, I used to be part of the video game industry, so I know exactly what these type of community leaders are used for. Let's just say, right? So I don't have time for that shit, to be honest, right? So new raids coming soon. I'm hearing rumors, like Apocalypse raid. I've been talking about this with my alliance for a while, but yeah, well, they better give us a frickin' tech team. I frickin' hate tech. I hate it. Oh my god, I haven't done my DD. I mean, I haven't done my raids at all today. Holy crap, my alliance leader's gonna be like, he's gonna ping me directly on Discord. He's like, hey man, what's going on? I'm just in the background, just killing it on RTA. So yeah, Sharky, it's all good, man. I'm gonna release this video. It's gonna be probably an hour-long video talking about the MSF community this week. It's like a recap of what's been happening. I feel like this could be something that I can do on a weekly basis, maybe. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun, right? Because I don't think anybody else is doing that, right? To talk about all the envoys and the non-voice and the non-voice, right? All the other small content creators. What they're talking about, because I find that actually really fun, because these are the videos that I watch, right, when I'm alone and no kids around. This is what I enjoy, because I still love this game. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I gotta do my raids. Holy crap, I haven't joined in any of. So we're doing D 2.2. We're actually going to do 100%. We're gonna hit for 100% in the next week, I believe. Oh no, why you gotta give me tech? Oh, God, I hate tech. I really despise this tech node, these tech nodes. The tech node. Sharky, my wife is Chinese, my kids are half, so I'm definitely a little more sensitive to these things. Yeah. This is why hashtag not my Wong is my movement that I want to have change, right? I want to see change, but of course we know, right, that we are a smaller community. We're a percentage of the population that nobody speaks the fuck up. But guess what? I'm gonna fucking speak the fuck up, okay? Scopley, stop being so fucking culturally insensitive to Asians, okay? Seriously, like it's literally it's almost bullshit to me, right? They don't like how can you just do a freaking search? You're Blasian, nice. Mom Korean, dad Black American. Black from the bottom down, you know what I'm saying? It's a good mix. By the way, a lot of people think that I'm Korean for some freaking reason, right? Which is fine because I actually launched the Helge London game in Korea, and literally the Korean culture is so amazing. They come up to me on the street and they're just like, 안녕하세요, and they just like, you're so good looking. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you trying to hit on me, bro? Right? Because I'm from the States. I'm like, whoa, back the fuck up. But they're just so open about these things. If they see a decent looking male or female, they'll say, oh, actually, maybe not female. They're a little embarrassed. But I find that so incredible, right? I'm just like, what other country is like that? None, right? None. So, oh man, I need to do this. What am I doing? Okay, this is the second node, so I should be doing, I believe Doc. I forgot. So maybe Nebs. I don't know. I'm just gonna try to get through. Everyone loves Bruce Lee. Yes, but like I said, like earlier, man, before you joined, Prince of Peace, Shang-Chi, his moves in this game is like Bruce Lee. But the thing is, Shang-Chi's moves in the MCU is very different, right? It's like a mixture between like hidden dragon, tiger, fucking whatever, like the serene, like the very fluid movements, and what is the other one? Jackie Chan in terms of like the acrobatics, right? So it's not just about straight kung fu that I think that people don't really understand. So this is why I think the MCU gets it. They literally get it, right? They understand that, hey, you know what? It's not just about Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee or Jet Li. I don't know where the hell Jet Li is. He's freaking old these days. But there's really no other good representation of Asians in media. So some of my followers know that I used to be in the Hollywood scene and try to propagate the better stereotypes or non-stereotypes, right, of Asians in media, and especially Asian males, because Asian females are still a little bit, like sexualized, I guess. But the problem is when it comes to Asian males, they're usually not the leads, right? And you never see Asian males getting the white female, right? Tell me, what movie have you seen that actually has achieved that? That's actually mainstream. So, man, you get me drunk, guys? I'm gonna keep going down this path because I got a lot of stuff to talk about that stuff. But I gotta before I get pinged by my lines later, I gotta deliver. Right? I can't be like, oh, I'm gonna sleep on the freaking raids and all of a sudden I'm gonna be the bottom of the list. That's not cool. So it's hard to talk and also play this freaking game at the same time. It's like, has anybody ever played an instrument and trying to sing? It's hard, right? And I used to play the guitar, I used to play violin, play all sorts of string instruments, and it's really, really hard to sing at the same time. It takes a lot of skill. So Similu is such a great actor and a really good Twitter follower. Yeah, no, he's awesome. I really like him as a person. But did you know that Shang-Chi is actually banned in China? Did you know that? Do you know why? Oh, by the way, the Eternal is also banned in China. So it's really funny because also Spider-Man was not released in China. And this is why I'm glad that I'm actually stuck in Singapore, because I actually saw Spider-Man like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I was alone in a theater, and I literally teared up and, I'm not afraid to admit it, cried. Because it's just tears of joy just to see. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't seen Spider-Man. If you play this game, you've probably seen Spider-Man by now, I hope. Unless you're in China. Oh man, the combining of the actors and all that, it really brought me back. I literally cried for like 40% of the movie with happiness and sadness at the same time, right? Oh no, Sharky, I just fought it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, so like I think when it comes to the portrayal of Asians in media, there's still an uphill battle, especially when it comes to Hollywood, right? So it's fine, it is what it is. We're here to help influence, whether it's through gaming, whether it's through other mediums, right? And this is where it sort of bothers me that this game still just brings in Wong from the comics without actually understanding about his character in the 60s, right? I mean, this is another reason why, what is it, what was the Ancient One, or yeah, from the original comics, it's really, really racist, right? Van City Revan, it's improving. Love Hard, the Netflix movie, Jimmy O Yang. Okay, so Jimmy O Yang, he's from Silicon Valley, right? He's a comedian. But the thing is, like, by the way, I love the guy, right? I love the guy. But the thing is, where are Jimmy O Yang is not going to be on freaking top sexiest males, whatever, right? Any list, I'm sorry. Okay? He's hilarious. He's got a great personality. He's got a lot of hardships growing up, right? He used to work at a strip club and all this. Like, I've read his book and all this stuff, right? I really appreciate him. But the thing is, when it comes to sort of the sex appeal of Asian males in media, there's really nothing out there. So this is the thing where I think that there's still a lot of room for improvement. So let me see. I'm gonna go with this team. I'm gonna heal a little bit. Oh no, not the cores. Okay. Yeah, so this is where I think that there's still a lot of room for improvement, because Hollywood rules entertainment. Obviously, I mean, we're still playing like Disney, Marvel, Star Wars. It's really, really exciting. So we'll see. I mean, you're not gonna get Obi-Wan as an Asian guy, right? Never. So we'll see what happens in the future. But I agree that Simu Liu is doing a really, really excellent job. But the problem is, like I mentioned earlier, the biggest market for movies is still China. And Simu Liu screwed that up, because I think on Twitter many years ago, he posted something about like how China was like a backwards country or something, and after that, boom, banned, right? Super banned. So see, this is why I hate tech nodes. RNG up the wazoo. You never know if you're gonna win or lose or whatever, right? You're just gonna whatever. At least I killed Doom, so that's good. Korean horror on Netflix has been dominating, surprisingly awesome. I mean, if you, I'm sure, Prince of Peace, you've seen Squid Games. I mean, that's not horror, but holy crap, that is literally the best TV series I've seen all year. Oh my god, if you guys have not seen that, you have to see it. You have to see it. It's so good. Oh my goodness. And I'm really happy to hear that they're gonna have a second season. I don't know how they're gonna, I mean, I can see how they can propagate it and keep building on top of that IP, but holy crap, that was oh my god, that TV series is amazing. And also, outside of Hollywood and Bollywood, I guess. I don't really watch a lot of Bollywood movies. Maybe I should. But South Korea is really good at bringing really good cinema, really good media. If you've seen, what is that? Parasite. Guys, if you have not seen Parasite, please, okay, do yourself a freaking favor and go see it. It is literally one of the best movies from not only a script perspective, but also the symbology perspective, and also the like it's a whole narrative on the sort of the caste system, right? How the wealthy versus the middle class versus the lower class. It's so visual. It is such a good movie, like Parasite. Oh my god. And literally it's like, oh, at first you're like, oh, it's a comedy, it's a drama, wait, it's a horror. Oh my god, it's something else. Literally it transcends all these genres and sort of puts them all together, and I've never seen that before in any other movie. So oh my gosh, guys, you have to go see that movie. Oh my god, see it right now. It's so freaking good. It's so freaking good, yeah. So outside of that, I mean, there's been a lot of other Korean movies. Like, what was that? The Monster? Do you remember that? Anybody know that The Monster? So that was a pretty interesting movie. I mean, Korean films are definitely very, very good. Very, very good. And I really hope that Squid Games really opened up the door, so to speak, for the globalization of its medium, right? Because people like just like, oh, I'm not gonna read the subtitles, but it is so good that if you don't watch it, like you're missing out on a huge subculture, right? In 2022, did it come out 22 or 2021? But it's so freaking good. So yeah, Sharky, please watch Parasite, man. Holy crap, it's so good. And I mean, again, I don't want to just build it up so high. It's just like, oh, this movie sucked. Drunken Gleam said it was great, but I thought it was average. But the thing is, you just watch it and you let me know what you think about it, right? Because it's so different than every other movie that I've seen. So yeah, cheers, guys. So yeah, anyway, it's gonna be midnight soon. I got a morning meetings and all that jazz. So anyway, thank you so much, guys, for joining. Let me see if I can, if I should raid anybody. Let's see who's online right now. Okay. Let me raid. Okay, give me a second, guys. I'm gonna raid some guy that you're gonna love. Here we go. All right, guys. The Valley's been missing. What? Really? He's been missing? Man. Well, hopefully he's okay. Maybe he opened a bunch of red stars and he got too pissed off or something again, and he's just like, F this game, I'm done. But then, after a week, he'll be fine. So it's all good. Guys, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe this video or whatever. Have a good night or morning or whatever. And just really, let's keep trying to propagate the goodness of this game. At the same time, bring to light the issues that they need to freaking fix. All right. So anyway, peace out.